Welcome back to the Fly With Her podcast. I'm your host, Maya.
And I'm Aitana. Thank you for joining us for another episode.
Today's guest, all the way from Saudi Arabia, is a commercial pilot and the founder and CEO of Airman's Ground, Pakistan's first digital aviation academy, transforming how pilots are trained.
With students from more than 21 countries and a 100% pass rate across its programs, she's redefining aviation training and empowering the next generation of aviators.
We're so excited to dive into her story and the future she's helping shape in pilot training. Captain Kadar, welcome to the podcast. We're so happy to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much, Maya and Aitana. I'm so happy to be over here. I'm so happy to see the young girls having this much passion and enthusiasm and also conducting a podcast as well. And thank you so much for the great intro that you have studied about me.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. So, Captain Kadar, what first sparked your interest in becoming a commercial pilot, and when did that dream start to feel possible for you?
Okay, so when I was young, my house was near the airport, our family house in Pakistan. And then because we are living in Saudi Arabia from the past 40 to 50 years, so there's a lot of aviation interaction because we keep on traveling between the two countries. So this was the exposure to the aviation. So from the very early childhood, from the beginning. And then obviously the parents, they keep on enthusiasm. One day my child will become a pilot. And that was the first instinct that had come to my mind, or the introduction of a pilot that flies the aircraft which is going above our rooftop. So afterwards, what happened that I went into MBBS because my family then wanted me to become a doctor. But somehow it was stuck in my head that I must just apply in aviation, and commercial aviation being known as very difficult to proceed with and the other kind of the stuff. But I still applied in it. And alhamdulillah, I got selected.
My first question is, what route did you take to become a pilot?
I just applied to the flight school and I got the admission. That's it. No hard and fast rule because I was already the MBBS student giving the exams and all those basic things were already just on my fingertips. So for me, the beginning of it or the starting, it wasn't difficult at all.
Okay. And what inspired you to move from flying to founding Airman's Ground?
Okay. So when I started doing niqab when I was 25. So now I'm 33. So it means almost 8 years ago when I started doing my niqab. So I knew that aviation is a glamorous field. And now there are more chances that nobody is going to hire me, though my license is still valid and I have all eligibility to go into the airline. And now I'm eligible enough and I have good connections from the beginning and all that stuff, which I know the procedures. And I was well known as the most intelligent pilot in my academy and in Pakistan as well. But still, I knew that this can become a hurdle. But this is a major decision that I took in my life. My license is still valid, but I moved from why do I need someone to hire me when I can be the CEO myself? I will hire the pilots now.
Yes, but I imagine that because you decided to wear the hijab, the niqab, that you had to sacrifice one of your passions, which is flying. So how was you able to navigate it? And what inspired you to wear the niqab, even though that meant that you may not be flying as a pilot anymore?
So Maya and Aitana, the thing is, flying is a very bad addiction. It's more like a drug. And from our seniors, we have been told like that. And once anyone has started flying, their ambition is to get into the airline. But I always say to my juniors and everybody I meet that the life is not a name of one passion that you love and you become crazy about that and become addicted enough that you ruin everything and all of your decisions depend on that one thing. It shouldn't be like that. So what happened that as I say, I still fly. I have all the privileges. It is just that our perspective changes. Now I utilize all my expertise, my energy, and my efforts to make other pilots better, to make the whole aviation better. So there are a lot of other projects that we are doing. It is not that I have wasted my knowledge or I have wasted my experience. Nothing has changed. And on the contrary, if we see, this one decision has given me a lot, mashallah, and Allah has given me better things. As I say, now I'm not doing any kind of a job. I'm not bound to do anything. I'm now the CEO and I'm handling the world's aviation. I have the linkages around the world. So definitely, when we make better decisions, we grow better and we develop ourselves better and we can still contribute.
Wow, congratulations. That is truly inspiring. I'm very impressed.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, Captain Kadar, Airman's Ground has an incredible 100% pass rate. What makes your training model so effective?
The thing is, I always believe, and I still believe, that every human being is capable to achieve and do whatever they want to do. Every normal human being. So when I see that is 80% failure ratio of the pilot, I still question what's wrong. Every human, they have been selected as a pilot, right? It means they have been through the medical, they have been through the psychometric tests. This means that they are complete normal human beings. They do not have anything, right? Why they are failing? Because in aviation industry, they do focus on the flying, but when it comes to the knowledge part, when it comes to the learning part, there is no focus on it. Not every individual is prepared equally. There's more self-study, there's more bad business than making a good pilot. So on my end, my ambition is to produce the quality education, or actually make to work on that human being. I want to work on each and individual, each and every student pilot which come to Airman's Ground. I give all of my resources, my efforts, my experience, my knowledge to that one human being who is coming. How is it possible that a normal human being, just like my Aitana, is coming to me, who got 6 times? There are students who got failed 6 times in the state-of-the-art flight schools. I have students from now 25 countries from around the world, specifically Middle East and Europe. This region has the best flight schools, right? Students are coming to me after failing 6 times from those flight schools. How couldn't they work on it? How could they take 100% from Airman's Ground? How could they pass at first attempt at Airman's Ground? If there was a problem in the students, they couldn't have done that. We also post the results. Daily we post the results of those students. You can see the dates over there. This shows that every human being is capable. It has the ability. So it is not the fault of the student, it is the fault of that institute who couldn't make it pass. I hope it answers.
Thank you.
Yes,
No, it
amazing.
really is pretty good. I love your passion for aviation. It's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
And for the future of aviation training, it's very cool to see. So what has it been like being a Muslim woman in aviation, and how have people responded to you because you've decided to wear the niqab? And what difficulties have you found that come with that?
Maya, you know what? I think it is all what is over here in our head. We perceive
Yes.
the things before proceeding. Nobody cares about how do you look, what do you do, whatever it is, what petty things that we consider about ourselves. It is actually what value are we adding? What value are we adding to the community? If we're adding the
Yes.
good value to the community, nobody matters. I even say, even if you ask ChatGPT about me, it gives every right thing, but it write his to my name. I repeatedly told him I'm a female, but even ChatGPT write his. Does it make any matter? No, it doesn't matter to me. You can consider me whatever. This means, from the very beginning, from the childhood, whatever superheroes we have followed, most of them have their covered faces, right?
Yes.
Does it matter how do they look? Does it matter what do they do? No. The only thing matters was how were they contributing to the community? How are they adding value to the others' lives? How they are solving the problems? If I am solving someone's problem, nobody ever asked me who am I. People, mostly my students, never knew I'm a female. Most of the people who have reached out to me were from other sources. They haven't seen me or they don't know that Airman's Ground belongs to me. They don't know I'm a female. They consider me a male. It doesn't matter to me. Consider me whatever you want to consider me. Consider purple color of color. I don't matter. It doesn't matter to me. Until I am giving value to the community, this matters to you. So again, this is the value that we give. So till date, nobody has ever treated me or discriminated me. Never.
That's brilliant.
Never
amazing.
till date. Never. And
That's-
though I was prepared for it, as I told you when I did the niqab, I was mentally prepared for all those things. But it never happened. Never happened. So it actually also matters, I think, from where we are and what kind of people are we surrounded with. But I mean, till date, it's been more than 8 years, and I have met the people around the world. I have met the government officials. I have met the royals. I have worked with them. I mean, no shame. They appreciate it. This is my decision. They won't work from me, right? I will give you the work. I will work. You will take the results from me. All those who are showing the faces are doing whatever they want. They couldn't produce the results, right? So it is all in our heads or in others' heads, maybe, but actually it never happened. Nobody dares it. Nobody dares it.
That's brilliant advice. Honestly, that it's more about what value you bring as opposed to what you look like. I think
Yeah.
that you hit the nail on the head there. Well, thank you for that.
You did. So, as you said, Captain Kadar, you've trained students in over 25 countries now. Well done. Congratulations again.
Thank
What
you.
kind of feedback from your international students has impacted you the most?
Amazing. I take the screenshot of their conversations. I do not try to even make it better. Like there are some of the companies or the people who just copy paste maybe or try to give it a better look. I said no. I take the screenshot. I put it in that way. I do not even improve it in HD. No. See it like that. See what people are actually talking about. And I always ask them from the feedback. I always tell them, give me the right feedback and do not praise about it. Just tell me the negative facts. And definitely when they do not have any, so they are like, what should be negative will be saying? Because when they enter, we actually align everything according to them. So definitely afterwards, they don't have any negative thing to say about.
That's amazing. Thank you.
That's amazing. It shows how brilliant your services are if no
Yeah.
one has anything negative to say.
Right?
That's amazing. And once we become pilots, we'll be sure to reach out to you and use your services. That would be
Definitely.
brilliant.
And we'll definitely give you the scholarship.
Oh, thank you so much. So kind of you. What, in terms of what licenses are available in Airman's Ground, what licenses does it help you to get? Is it PPL, ATPL to join the airlines? What kind of licenses does it help you with Airman's Ground?
Okay, so Maya and Kana, the best thing about Airman's Ground is that we are not an ATO. Because when you become an ATO, you are bound to give one license, right?
I see.
Because you actually associate yourself with one thing. How do we have people from around the world? We have from Canada, USA, UK, European countries, Asian countries, everywhere. Huh? You can see the flag over there. We have a whole list of it. So the best part is that we are not an ATO. We are the preparatory school. So the preparatory school, anybody from any nationality from around the world can come along with their syllabus, or they can tell us their syllabus, and we will train them accordingly. Our experts will train them. And they can go to their country or any flight school or any authority and get their license.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that is the work of the preparatory school. So we are not bound to give one license, whatever you want to get educated with from the aviation. So we have, even after having this diverse experience from around the world, we have developed the foundation courses and the other training courses for the newcomers, for the expert airline pilots, and like from zero till hero and even after beyond heroiness. We have developed those syllabuses and the stuff which to educate the pilots and to make them better and to perform better in the cockpit. Okay. So it includes all PPL, ATPL, CPL, foundation courses, post ATPL trainings, even for the mental health of the emotional intelligence for the pilot, the sustainability courses, and all that stuff.
That's amazing. So Airman's Ground tailors its course to the individual who comes with their syllabus. Is that correct? Oh wow, that's pretty cool. I never knew that. That's amazing. Wow.
Thank you.
As we know, the aviation industry is very much developing really quickly. They want to bring AI soon. So, where do you see aviation training heading in the next 5 to 10 years, especially with AI, VR, and digital platforms emerging?
So, since 2024, when I was invited as the speaker for the Future Workforce at Bahrain International Air Show, I told them over there, and I tell this publicly to everyone, get your pilots prepared because it is not the future thing, it is the present thing. When you have the advanced air mobility at right now the Dubai Air Show, you can see they're projecting it, right? The whole AI thing is actually flying the whole aircraft. It takes nothing that the population get immune to the things. Previously, we used to have 5 pilots in the cockpit, then 4, then 3, now 2, and we also have the aircraft introduced by the Airbus having only 1 pilot, right? And then now we have advanced air mobility, which requires no pilot. Is it so? So, what happens that now the comparison not between the pilot and the AI, now the competition is between the AI or the best pilot, and anyone will choose the best pilot. But if you are not producing the best pilots, why? Just let the person or anything which is doing the good job, let them do it, right? How long would you stop it? How long would you stop it? Once people will get immune to it, perfect. You will have to reduce the pilot ratios. So we have to train our pilots in a better way because it is not about after 5 to 6 years. It is about now. It has already happened. It is done now. It's not about future anymore. There's a whole team. Advanced Air Mobility is a whole group of people whose aim is to make the pilot less cockpits. Are you going to stop that whole team? No, you're not going to stop it. They are working on their project. So if we are really, I have the pilot academy, right? And I know how the pilot training is being done. When we see 80% the failure ratio, we already know, and 80% is the human factor involved in the air accidents. Now, where do you see the things? Right? So it is quite obvious that it is not the future, 5, 6 years. It is about now. Start now. Make yourself better now.
Yes, that is wonderful. What advice would you give to an aspiring pilot who maybe doubts their abilities and is apprehensive about the theoretical element of becoming a pilot?
Oh, but if you're doubting yourself, just come to Airman's Ground. This is our ambition. Even after failing 6 times, those who believe themselves and failed 6 times, they also come to Airman's Ground.
Oh, that's amazing.
Even if those people don't believe in themselves, we believe in their capabilities, by the way. Airman's Ground already believe in your capabilities. If you're a normal human being, and you know what, Aitan and Maya? You need to know about the Aerobility. Aerobility is a platform which is run by the specially abled people.
Oh, wow.
So now it is not about being normal physically. They are not normal physically, but they are the pilots too, by the way.
Wow.
So we were on the capability of the people. As I said that Airman's Ground believe in you all. Even if those who do not believe in themselves, we still believe in them. And this is the reason we put our all resources and efforts and make them pass at the first attempt. Even if they have failed 6 times, they still pass. And most of the time they take 100% as well. You can see the results on our website, on our all the social channels. We post them over there as it is. By hiding the names, by the way, you can see the dates over there in the beginning. Like they have the dates. but we hide the names and the personal identity of all those.
And Captain Kadar, you've had an absolutely phenomenal journey, and congratulations on all your achievements and everything you've done. What has been your proudest achievement or the thing that you've done in your journey that you've been particularly proud of?
I think learning. Starting Airman's Ground was a very good decision of mine, not keeping myself or running after the jobs or saying to myself that, okay, because now I have started Niqab and now because I know this glamorous field is not, I have to like run after the airlines to please hire me. No, now I hire them. Now they need me, by the way. So use your capabilities. Never think that something has stopped you. You always have the capabilities and you can always utilize it in one way or the other. Those capabilities, that learning, what we do throughout our lives, it never go wasted. So starting Airman's Ground was a very proud decision because the pilots usually have the job mindset. Turning it into an entrepreneurial mindset was very difficult for me because I had no prior experience, no tech experience. Obviously, the aviation experience was the job experience, no business experience. But yes, my mentors or 2 to 3 people who kept on saying me, just do not stop, just do not stop. Just keep on doing it, keep on doing anything. So I kept on moving. So now, 2 years when Airman's Ground was just starting, and I still have the people who come to me and tell me that this is not going to work. I mean, I have the governments now working with me. Still, they come to me and tell me this thing. So I feel good about myself. Alhamdulillah. Allah has given me that courage and those good people, those mentors around me who keep on fueling me and keep on pumping me. And just like the people like you, and we should have people around us, only 2 to 3 people, who keep on telling us that we are capable and just keep on doing it. And we even keep on doing it. That is the proudest part on our end.
Yes, definitely. Having the right support network is very invaluable. So thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
How has your faith helped shape your mindset when you do encounter difficulties?
Very good question, Maya. It's an amazing. You know why? Because this is what keeps us going on. This perspective is there when we start. This perspective should be there when we end things or when we are during our difficulties or something is stopping us. Like hurdles means something is stopping us, but we don't stop. We just push it away and we move forward. So
Yes.
what makes us push it away? Yes. So that is the religious perspective that I have, and I think you people should study about it. It's called shirk. Shirk is that we believe that Allah has every power. So if I want someone to come to me, I will not go to them, or I will not think, oh my God, they can do like this, they can do that to me. No, they cannot do anything to me. If they have to come to me, Allah will put that thing in their heart, in their brains. Allah will put my value, which is in their heart, my love and value and respect in their heart, in their brains. And even if they hate me, they don't like me, Allah will make them come to me and work for me, even if they don't want it. So we should be good and sincere to everyone because my concept is, or it is what Allah has taught us, be sincere to others and take the reward from Allah, not those people. So always help the people, be the most useful citizen, be the most useful for your neighbors, for your family, your relatives, human beings, plants, and animals around you. And the result will be shown by Allah, and to not want those animal, plants, and humans to respond you in that way, because we did the good for Allah and not for those things. Perfect. And there will always be people, random people coming to us and doing our work. Why? Why they are doing it for us? Because we did it for someone else. So this belief system keeps me going on. Whenever there's a difficulty, literally miracles happened. Every time the miracles happened, every time miracles happened that people came to me, removed this hurdle, and I kept on going.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is so inspiring. Your whole story is really inspiring, Captain Kadar. Honestly.
Yes.
Thank you so
So-
much, Aitana.
Thank you. Honestly, it's definitely been a pleasure having you onto the episode. We enjoyed every little bit that you have told us, all the advice, your passion as well. We absolutely admire it. So thank you so much for that.
You
Thank
are
you.
welcome. And thank you so much, Maya. Thank you so much, Aitana. Both of you are amazing, intelligent girls. And I'm so happy to meet both of you. And I hope we stay connected in our socials because on my Insta and on my LinkedIn, I respond myself, though it is handled by Miss Mariam as well, who is my assistant. But I still, I'm also active over there in responding the messages because she's not allowed to respond to messages.
Okay, thank you so much, Captain Kadar. So that is it for today. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Fly With Her podcast.
Don't forget to tune in, take off, and fly with her.
See you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.